This is kind of a big deal today. I want to do an overview of what everybody is hearing out there in the market. So I've compiled some of the things that I've been hearing that I'm sure that you've been hearing, and my own personal opinions as well as facts uh, to let you know what's really going on in the real estate market in Vancouver. So let's start with number one, what you're hearing. The market is set to collapse. Has everybody out there heard that the market is set to collapse? I'm going to show you some interesting facts in a few minutes why that doesn't appear to be happening. Declines, they're saying that there's declines in 2021, or there will be further declines in 2021, with a rebound coming back in 2022. Vancouver is the most indebted city in Canada. That everybody in it is broke. The city is broke. No one wants to live here anymore. They're moving to the country and rural areas. So I don't know if these are some of the things that you're hearing. I'm definitely hearing some of that feedback, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm confused. So I decided to do a little bit of a post-COVID market update. So rather than just giving you the numbers of what's selling, what the average house price is in Vancouver, let's talk about some of these things that people really want to know. Is the market going to crash? Should you wait to buy something? Is it a good time to sell? So let's talk about those things and some of the questions that I'm going to answer now that I just indicated. So mid-March, obviously life changed. And yes, the real estate market came to a screaming halt. Everything came to a screaming halt, actually. We were all indoors. We didn't know what to do. Our sales actually went down 63% below a 10-year average in April. So that was the results, obviously, of March. So that is pretty significant over a 10-year average, 63%. But we've definitely emerged. So here's some of the stats that you might find interesting. May 2020, 34% increase from April. June, 64.5% increase. 64.5% increase is like 15% higher than it was June of last year, 2019. So is the market collapsing? I'm not so sure. So here's some of the things that I want to address. Are we broke? Well, we do have, the highest priced properties in Canada, or one of, with the exception of Toronto. And of course, everybody is, has large mortgages to take care of. So let's have a look at the statistics for the mortgage deferral. So everybody knows that, mortgage deferral is only going to last so long. Quebec actually is at a 30% deferral rate, 20% in Ontario, 27% in Alberta, and we're only at 7%, which basically means that only 7% of BC residents or homeowners have not been able to pay their mortgage. So we're actually in a pretty good standpoint in Canada. Is there truth to people moving to rural areas? Absolutely. The Fraser Valley stats actually show that there's been a 113% increase in their market. Based on people wanting to get into rural areas and perhaps really addressing, your overall monthly budget, maybe taking into consideration some space, and people are obviously fearful of living in close proximity. So, I don't know if that is because the city is broke. Really, the only thing that's going to be proof is when there's no more serb. I believe that it's just been extended, but when we can't rely on the serb anymore, I guess is going to be really the truth at that point. So here's a couple of things that I'm watching for. Maybe you're watching for these things too. Inventory levels. So we are still at 23.7% lower inventory levels than we should be at this time of year. So obviously the demand is higher because of low inventory levels. So I'm constantly watching the inventory levels because that does affect the market. Unemployment, like I said, what happens when serb runs out? Is it going to affect the unemployment rate? That will definitely affect people's ability to buy or sell or buy a property or afford their current mortgages. Migration levels. Vancouver is known to have an influx of international travelers, international students. We haven't seen that over the past few months. They do assist in our economic strength. And so will that go back to, pre-COVID levels? That is something I'm also watching. So single family homes, just for the statistic part of it, are on the rise. They're actually up 4%. It was before that you could get into a condo and townhouse much easier. Now with some of the insurance increases and strata fee increases, that people are being a little bit more cautious and they're kind of leaning towards single family homes, probably also for more space if they're not willing to move out rurally. At least with a single family home, you have the ability to have a little more elbow room. However, studios and one bedrooms are definitely selling strong. They're a great investment opportunity. They actually statistically hold their rent much higher than anything else. So if you're looking as an investor, studios and one bedrooms, especially on the transit line, are definitely sought after and a hot target area, target type of property. Now let's talk about area. So I've been doing some research because not all areas in Vancouver are doing as well as others. And so the hottest area and the slowest amount of sales, or the buyer's opportunity, should I say, at 11% sales ratio, which means that it's a buyer's market, is Chinatown, actually, False Creek and Chinatown area. So there's a couple of factors. One is that the viaduct needs to come down. It's not stable any longer, and it will come down at one point. So that's why I think that when that happens, it's going to be a much more walkable area. So there's great opportunity there. I just think that you're going to get a much more, a higher return on your investment. East Side is not selling quite as well as downtown and the West Side right now. And so if you are looking to get in at a good price, I would definitely focus my efforts on that area. So a little bit of a different market update for you. I do have all the statistics that came in for July. Obviously, we're now almost midway into August. If you do want a copy of the stats that I have include all of the different areas, the sales ratios. I can explain what those actually mean if you don't know how to look at those, and which areas to focus on in either buying or if you're selling, the hottest areas that are selling right now. So hopefully you enjoyed this market update. This is the overall post-COVID update. We will do our weekly update as we do usually, and have a great evening. Okay, bye-bye.